Illusion. Noun. A deceptive appearance or impression. A false idea or belief. Chapter 1. As is almost always the case, it started with a misunderstanding. "Here, time's up, it's our turn now." The voice belonged to a young male, neither a boy nor fully a man, in torn blue jeans and a dark hoodie. It was hard to see his whole face, but a long jagged scar, clearly visible under the bright light of the outdoor basketball court, ran from just below his left eye to halfway down his cheek. "Get lost, we're in the middle of a game, go find someone else." Another almost identically dressed young male stepped forward holding a basketball in his hand, his sweat dripping into the snarling fangs of a black cobra tattooed on his bare chest. Three of his friends stopped running instantly. One with a shaven head and a tattoo of a different snake peeking out from under his tight-fitting t-shirt turned to his mate with the ball. "Mo, who is this ugly dude telling us to get off our court?" he asked. "Dunno," answered the one called Mo. The silver stud pressed into his left ear, glistening under the bright lights of the court. "But he sure is ugly, Jams, I'll give you that." The one with the jagged scar scowled, his scar becoming more pronounced as he did. "Ugly maybe, but at least not stupid. We always play here this time of night, always, so like I said before, get off our court and get out of here." "You want it, you come and take it," said the one called Mo. There was an unmistakable snarling edge to his voice now. Three more young men stepped out of the shadows and stood next to the one with the jagged scar. "You serious? We'll beat the hell out of you all." "I don't think so." The two groups stood facing each other, only a few feet of dark green concrete and a whole lot of repressed anger between them. It was quiet, too quiet on that court. Other than the distant hum of the late night traffic and the sound of chairs being stacked in the cafe on the other side of the chain link fence, there was very little to hear. For a long moment, nothing happened. Until something did, and then in a sudden flash of blinding movement, there were limbs everywhere, a furious flurry of punches and kicks. Individual bodies seemed to meld into one seething, swirling mass of violent flesh. Curses and shouts filled the air. Nothing and no one could be told apart. Just carnage and chaos and misunderstanding. And then a flash of steel and a scream, and the boy with the jagged scar lying on the ground, and blood, lots of it. Other boys went running, getting away as fast as they could. One ran into the thick bushes behind the court, one in the direction of the street, one into the nearby cafe. One boy smaller than the others came running from the opposite direction. He had been rushing down the alley leading to the court, late but ready to join the game now, before pulling up sharply as the sounds of violence reached his ears. Hidden in the shadow on the far side of the chain link fence, nobody saw him, frozen to the spot. A piercing shrill sound came slicing through the night, and then the boy in the shadows turned and ran like the others. He had a specific destination in mind, only 100 meters away. Reaching the underpass that connected the park to the tube station, he retreated into the safety of the darkness, taking in gulps of air. After a moment's rest, curiosity took over. Inching forward, he poked his head just beyond the wall of the tunnel. More chaos, more running, more shouting. Then flashing lights and white vans and grown men in uniform, lots of them, taking the boys, his boys, away. Another siren then. He shrunk back into the shadows of the underpass, no longer able to see what was happening, but it was far better than the alternative. Getting caught was not an option. Finally, after a long time, when everyone had been taken away and it was quiet again, the boy knew he must leave. He edged along the dimly lit tunnel, making his way out its far side. This route took him under the road and directly into the opposite side of the highway. From there, he made his way the long way round back to his home, moving swiftly through the quiet streets. But still, even in the quiet, there was misunderstanding. Lots of it.